Hello and welcome everybody to another edition of the Buy Round Interview Show. Today we're joined by someone that's been in the headlines as of late. New Tigers recruit Terrell May. Recently returned from a trip to England. How was it over there? Did you enjoy the experience?
Yeah, to be honest, I never thought I'd like England. I was like, I've heard so much stories about all this, like it's too cold, it's not nice and that, but I actually really enjoyed it. We ended up staying in York. It's a bit different and more older people, like rich older people. So yeah, it was a bit different to what I heard because my brother plays for Hull KR. So yeah. I heard Hull's just like the place where I stay at Mount Druitt. So yeah, I was just hearing bad things about it. And then I was like, got there and I was like, bro, this is completely different. It's actually nice.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Well, I can't even say anything about York. I've never been. I've heard it's really nice, quite sad. It's like 90 minutes away from where I grew up, but never been. It came at the end of a grueling season for you. You know, a lot gets made of like the amount of games in the season, player welfare. You at the end of that season for the Roosters, like you get to play for Samoa. Like, how did you feel going into camp? Was it ever an issue for you, like the burnout factor?
Yeah, like, bro, the whole year, because I obviously didn't miss a game. So I played every single game, 27 games. And yeah, every player plays for injury and that. But like, yeah, your body's still rattled and sore. Then we got knocked out in the prelims and then I had 2 weeks to go to England. So yeah, the body was still rattled and obviously like, you're leaving your family to go to a place that's 24 hours away. Like you can't just hop back on a plane and just go, oh, no, I'm going back. You know what I mean? We're not in Melbourne, Queensland and that. So yeah, I always want to play for my country no matter what. But yeah, this year was probably a bit harder because it's in England and yeah, I played every game and I was a bit rattled. But as soon as like, because both my sides, like my side and my missus side, Samoan. So yeah, I want to make them proud and go represent. And my parents always said, if you got the opportunity to do it, go do it. You know, So
I always looked at it as well that whenever I was playing for England, like look, very proud of where I'm from and the people that sacrificed a lot for me, but also when I think of like my grandfathers and what they did for the country of England, but then also on a personal level, like. It made me go back to training that little bit later, which I always loved. Like, it almost like halved your pre-season, which I don't know. When you look at player welfare, I think, well, you're just gonna if we get extra time off, or if I don't play internationals, I come back to pre-season mid-November, which I don't want to do. I'd rather play because I think almost playing in the internationals is easier than going in pre-season for an extra 4 or 5 weeks. That's just my opinion. Do you have any thoughts on that?
No, 100%. Like, I would have had to been back already if I didn't play.
Exactly.
And as soon as I heard that, I was like, nah, bro, I'm 100%. I'm going, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I reckon pre-season's too long in general. Like, I reckon 6 weeks is good, bro. Like, everyone's set. I reckon, like, that pre-Christmas block, bro, everyone's as fit as they can. And then you go get those 2 weeks off and you're just like, bro, I wasted 6 weeks. You know what I mean? And then after you have another 8-week block and your body's like already ready for it and you're just like, bro, what the hell? Why am I doing a 14-week preseason?
Yeah.
Like,
I reckon when you're first coming into NRL, maybe. You might need that. But once you've been playing a couple of seasons, and look, there's a benefit to the preseason. But when you played as many games as you have, like you're on this, you know what your job is. Like you know how to get around the field. Yeah, you want to improve and all that, but mate, the shortened preseason, I think it was definitely worth it for me personally.
Yeah, no, this is actually my first preseason. I haven't been back early. I've always been back in November. Yeah. Even last year I went back in November and I played the internationals because that was only my 4th preseason.
Oh, right.
So yeah, this year I've got the 9 weeks, the mandatory. So I was happy when got told I was back Gen 6. I was cheering, bro. Like, first time I've ever been off. But in the off season, I probably train as hard as what their boys are doing anyway. So
because you take it a lot of pride in your performance.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? And again, that's it. I don't think anybody wants just to be off doing nothing. You want to be left to your own devices, and put a bit of trust in you to return in shape and attack the preseason, right? But it's just not that same level of demand going in each and every day, like long hours. You can sort of fit training in and around your life activities kind of thing.
Yeah, no, 100. That's what I like about it. Like, I can train whenever I want to train. Like, I don't have to wake up a certain time and then sit there for 8 hours, like, you know, just resting and I can just train, pump it out, and then bang, I'm home, just chilling and then doing my own stuff. But yeah, good luck to everyone that's doing preseason right now, man.
Yeah, it's this time of year where you certainly don't miss being an active player. But even just, you know, in my time playing, we do video in preseason. So to be doing like the video in November, like you say, like you're doing the hard stuff now, not doing the monotonous stuff, but all the stuff in and around it, like your well-being, you know, you like I say, the video sessions, all that sort of stuff, which is important. Yeah. But save that till January, right?
I reckon that drains me, that stuff. Yeah. Like November, December, and then you're just like, bro, we don't got a game till 3 months later. You know why are we watching video? Like,
especially playing in the middle.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like you know.
It's more for the halves and the spines and that. Like, yeah, they need the video, but like us middles, we're just sitting there watching halves videos. Yeah. And I'm like, bro, why are we doing this? You know?
I know the feeling. You're going to be starting that preseason at a new club. From the outside looking in, it was a strange exit. Like I didn't understand it as someone who like loves the game, you know, has an opinion on the game. Like, you know, I think everybody here was looking at going, that doesn't seem to make sense. You're the person at the heart of this story. What was it like for you? I've read comments that you thought it was a prank phone call, but how are you digesting that information when you're the person that's impacted?
Yeah, no, it was just a strange one, because like nothing was like even said or even like mentioned at all, like during the whole year, and then getting a phone call, 2 days before our second game in England. So yeah, getting that phone call from Robbo, I was just like, I was thinking of all the good things, you know. I was like, I must be getting a call saying like, so happy for you and all this stuff, or like, yeah, you did us proud, the club and that. And then to get that call, and it was a whole 180 of what I thought the original call was, I was just like I said, I was in shock, bro. I didn't digest it at all till like a week later. I was just like thinking the worst of the worst, like just like, what did I do wrong? Like, is there something I did wrong? But yeah, just after that call, I was trying to text everyone because it was 3:30 a.m. in Oz. So none of my family or manager or anyone was awake. So I had to digest that all by myself. And yeah, I was just like, bro, what just happened? Like, did I just lose my contract over, like, I want to know what the real, I want to know like, the reason why this is happening. And yeah, the reason I got it just didn't add up to me. And I see people like saying, he must have done this, he must have done that. But the honest truth is, I honestly don't know why I got released.
So there was no explanation.
There was just, we don't see you as a future of the club. We're going to go in a different direction. That was my explanation. It was only a 2-minute phone call. So that was my explanation for the whole reason I got told to find another club. And then, yeah, I was just, like I said, I couldn't digest it. I was just like thinking of the worst of the worst. I was like, bro, did I do something? And then got on the phone to my manager, ended up the next day, and he rang Robbo, and then Robbo just said the same thing, like, yeah, we're just going in a different direction. And I was just like, that's the explanation I got for everything I've done for this club. I know you've done a lot for me, but yeah, like, I didn't even get a farewell, any of that. I didn't get a end of the year, like, oh, look, we're going to look to move you on. I just got that 2-minute phone call and nothing from this day still, just that. And then, yeah, so it was a strange one. And I know people are trying to piece it up together and think of all, but the honest truth is that was it, the 2-minute phone call, and then, yeah, you're gone.
I was in a not too dissimilar situation where I was at the the Bulldogs. I had a year to go, and there was sort of it dragged out for a bit longer. I eventually got told you've got to go, and I sort of wrestled with it a little bit and be like, well, almost like, no, I'm going to stay.
Yeah.
Like, my emotions got, I was yo-yoing, basically. I was like, all right, they don't want me, I'm going to go. I'm going to make it look bad for them. Actually, no, you know what? Screw it, I want to stay. And like, you know, eventually I did move on, but I was a bit, I'll be honest, I was a bit of a mess in that predicament. Did you ever feel like you could just say, well, I'm not going to go? Like, why would I do that? You're at a really strong club. You've got a strong connection there. Like, did you ever feel like you could just say no to them?
Nah, see, like, my mindset straight away as soon as I got off that phone was, oh, okay, you don't want me? Oh, I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, yeah. Because I said to him, like, my answer to him was, oh, yeah, sweet, I'm not going to stay then if you want to move me on. And then he was just like, oh, yeah, this, that. And then I was just like, oh, yep. Straight from there, I knew straight away, got on the phone to my manager. I'm like, bro, move me on right now. I want to go to a club that actually wants me. And then all that stuff happened. And then, yeah, obviously now I'm at the Tigers, club that really wanted me. So I'm happy now. And, yeah, can't wait for next season. So, yeah. Yeah,
you want to feel that love, that sense of belonging.
Yeah, 100%. Right? And I felt like that phone call just made it like, oh, look, move on, we don't want you. And I was like, bro, I'm not going to sit here and play for a club that doesn't want me, you know?
Did you feel like because of the timing of it, and then this is certainly how I felt, is my options were limited because of the timing. So if you look back to the start of like Stefano Utoya Kamanu, arguably the person you're going to replace, like Melbourne went for him. Like, but if you'd have been on the market, like, no disrespect to Stefano, but I'd have you above him, if you know what I mean. So sometimes the dominoes fall, but your options then go down to, like, I reckon 16 other NRL teams would have been like, can we fit Terrell May in?
Yeah.
Like, and some just go, oh, look, it doesn't work logistically because of the salary cap. No. So your options then get shorter, right? And there was a few clubs that came after you. But if that news had been given to you 12 months in advance, you would have had more options.
Yeah, 100%. Like, when I first came on the market, before I re-signed, there was like, I think there was 11 clubs chasing me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when I first came on, like, those 11 clubs were keen as, but obviously I wanted to stay in Sydney. So I only had those, like, doggies, like, I chose out of Dogs, Roosters, and who else was it? Oh, it was just mainly out of them two. Then I ended up re-signing because I wanted to stay loyal. Like I said, I wanted to be a one-club man. And then obviously when you come in the market at the back end, teams already filled their top 30, filled their cap space. So there's not many clubs chasing you. That's why else I was like a bit like dirty. So I was like, bro, you could have told me this ages ago when there was clubs that had money and had cap space, but to do it right at the deadline, it's a bit strange. I felt like that was kind of a strategy, like for him so I don't go to certain clubs.
You
like
were Melbourne are out the race, right?
Melbourne, Penrith, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I don't
Penrith,
go to,
because they signed Papali'i.
Yeah,
right?
And Fish got off the market like the week. So Penrith let go of Fish the week after I signed. So I signed the week before. Penrith let go of Fish the week after. So, you know, they would have been looking for a front row. And then the next week they signed Papali'i. So, yeah, like I feel like that was a strategy for him to make me not go to the top clubs. But like I said, I'm happy that I'm at the Tigers now and get to go start a new journey there and just be that alpha leading the packs now. Like, because I felt like whatever club that I was going to go to, because I had Dragons, Dogs and Tigers, whatever club I was going to, I was going to be the alpha. But then obviously Dogs pulled their deal because they were chasing Ben Hunt and Pappenhausen. So they didn't, they pulled my deal. But yeah, so I only had those two clubs left and Tigers was my choice.
What is it that attracted you to the Tigers?
As soon as I met Benji, because I knew Benji before, because when I first started my first preseason, when I was 20 years old, Benji was the older senior guy in that team. and we had the same management. So he looked after me like heaps well, because I didn't know no one when I first came in. And then when I re-met him again, everything was just like, but I felt like he like had a mad connection with me, because the first thing he said is like, I don't care about your footy stuff. I'm worried about your family stuff. Like, family's first in my eyes. And I heard, like, because he said, I've heard that family's first in your eyes. And that's exactly like how I am. I've got in trouble like you for saying I put my family before footy. And yeah, bro, it just attracted me straight away to Benji. I was like, bro, this guy sees it how it is, you know, like exactly how I see it. Like, my family's happy, I'm happy. Like, obviously footy's our job. And obviously if I'm playing well, you know, like people can't say, oh, this guy's putting his family first. So yeah, I didn't see why that was a big deal when I said I could quit footy in a day. Because if I had a bad season, yeah, you could like roast me, say whatever, but I thought I had a pretty good season, you know, and that was my first full proper season, like without getting dropped or without just coming in. So yeah.
I want to ask you about that thing that you said, and maybe taking that out of context a little bit later, but you said something about being the alpha, right? What's that look like to you? What's that mean? Because I think some people are listeners or fans out there, they sort of, they know what you're saying, but what does that look like to you to be like the person in the pack that's going to be the leader?
Just the one that steps up every game, you know, leads his team out there, whether it's through the 1%ers or just going out there and just giving other teams troubles, you know, like being that guy that everyone wants to do video on and just feel like we need to go after this guy to stop that team. I want to be that guy, and I want teams to come after me and be like, yeah, look, we need to stop this player.
You like that challenge?
Yeah, well, I'd love it. And I just want other players to feed off it, like my teammates and that. Because I felt like I've always, like at the Roosters, there's so many good players. Like every week you go in, you're like, oh, who's the alpha, you know? Like obviously Jared was our alpha, but he was getting old and we need someone to step up. And now that I'm at a new club, like I feel like I want to take that role on, and yeah, I'm keen for the challenge. And I don't really want to talk about it because I'm more of a action guy. Like so yeah, I just want to show people, and I can't show you till March. So yeah.
Does it almost look like putting the team on your back a little bit, or
not really like putting my team on my back, but just more just leading through actions. Like I want to make sure I'm that guy that, you know, opposition say, yeah, bro, we need to take this guy's confidence away, otherwise we're gonna lose. You know, just have that little bit like, yeah, like we need to shut this guy down. Like not necessarily saying I'm the man in the team, but just if this guy plays bad, the team plays bad. You know, I want to have that like role in me. So yeah,
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
On that, there's I guess the quote where you said, I could leave football tomorrow or give it up tomorrow. Like I'm assuming just being honest in a conversation, just as that guarded you a little bit.
Nah, I don't really care what people think. Yeah. Like, bro, I'm just an honest person. Like, if you can't take my honesty, then I don't care. Like, the people that were like saying all that stuff, they don't affect my life. You know, my family know who I am. My friends know who I am. Like, why would I care about old Joe over here trying to tell me like, oh, get rid of this guy because he said this? Like, bro, you have nothing to do with my life. Like, why would I care what you say? And like that stuff I was saying at the time, I was just like saying it like out of how I felt that day, you know? And honestly, coming into the NRL, I didn't notice all the other stuff that comes into it. Yeah. Like that off-field stuff. Like I never came into the NRL thinking, oh, social media's like, you can't say this on social media. Like they never taught me that, you know? No one gets taught that kind of stuff. Like being an NRL player is not just on the field. There's more that goes off the field than on the field. So yeah, all that stuff I never learned, and I'm still learning to this day. Like you can't say this, you can't say that, but I'm just an honest person. Like, and that just came out, and oh well, if you don't like it, you don't like it. So I'm not gonna take it back.
Well, do you think there's an important, or do you think it's important to try and stay true to yourself there?
Yeah, 100%.
And not be this, like, what's the right way to describe it? This like striving for perfection. Don't say this. Don't like. I feel it's important to be authentic. Like who you are is who you are, and just picking up on what you said. That's how you felt that day, and I know what it's like to change. Some days I'm up, some days I'm down, some days I'm up for it, some days I'm not. I might throw away comments like, well, that's who I was that day, but judge me on my performances.
Yeah, 100%. That's why I feel like people were judging me on that day. Like, I didn't go out there, bro. I done that in round 24, and I feel like my back end year was like good. Like, I didn't go out there and take the piss, but I feel like nowadays everyone wants to be fake, like dress the way a certain person tells you how to dress, talk the way a certain person tells you how to talk. But I've never been fake. Like, I've always still look how I dress now. Like, and I was in the East for 3 years, and I feel like that cultural barrier was like hard for me to like. I would never change myself like just because of the way like the East is like or stuff like that. I've always been the same, and I'll never change no matter like if someone tells me, nah, you got to do this, you got to do this. But if I don't like it, at the end of the day, I'm not going to do it. So yeah, I'll try. Like, I was always trying to like get into the like Easty culture, but I just felt like it just wasn't me, to be honest. But yeah, like I still live out the West. I think that was like a struggle for Robbo, like that I always chose like the West than the East. But yeah, like at the end of the day, I brought into everything on the field and off the field. Like I was just like, couldn't change like where I wanted to live and that kind of stuff, So yeah, just, oh well, it is what it is.
We'll come and talk about a little bit about your background, your upbringing and how that shaped you a little bit later on, but just on family, the impact that this is going to have. Can you talk to us about what this is going to mean for you and the people that you spoke about, like that, whose opinion you value?
Yeah, so I've always put family first, and yeah, I've always like I said, like they've always came first, and yeah, like leaving the Roosters was probably a bad thing like for me, but at the end of the day, it was probably a blessing in disguise because now I can look after my family. Like I can pay off the house we just bought in December because, like I said, I still live with my rents, so I still look after them. And then in 2 years, my family want to retire, so I'm going to start paying their wages for them. So yeah, it's a blessing in disguise. Like I said, my family always comes first, and that's probably my proudest moment, like being able to pay off my parents' house and looking after them first just through footy is like something I never thought I would ever do. Like, because I came into the game late. I debuted 3 years ago, so yeah, I never thought I would be able to have this opportunity to look after them and just put them first. And yeah, it's a blessing, man. Like all this stuff that's happened, people might think, oh, this, that, but for me personally, I think it's the biggest blessing in disguise I've had.
We were speaking earlier, and I'm happy to have this conversation on camera. Like for you at 25, 25. Like I'm thinking back to me at 25 and the culture that I came from. Like I couldn't wait to move out of my parents' home, and it was about me and me building a life and me building a home and getting away. And look, looking back, I was grateful, but it was probably like I want to almost like break away. And I've done stuff in like now look after my parents, but I was like selfish, and probably that comes from the culture around that where I grew up. It's like you family's important, but you make a name for yourself, and just and there's no, it's not. I don't know. It's just these sorts of like little cultural differences. They fascinate me about where they come from, and they're not better or worse. But like I think back to me and the level-headedness and the maturity of a 25-year-old coming from that and having that selflessness to be, mum and dad have done so much for me. Like it almost puts me to shame a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean 100%. But obviously everyone grows up different, different cultures, different backgrounds, different people, different individuals. So like I said, I always grew up since I was young. I always said to myself, like, if I ever have money or if I ever, like, can look after my parents, they'll come first no matter what, no matter who's in my life, no matter where I am, no matter whatever the situation. I always said to myself, family first. But now, like, now I put it in God's first and then family. So, yeah, my family, like, I want to make sure they're sorted. I always said since I was young, if your parents buy a house, you pay it off. If your parents need to retire, you retire them. So personally, that's what I'm trying to achieve. And now that you know, got a better salary and we just bought a house recently that my parents chipped in for, I'm gonna start paying that off because I got the money and I want them to stop working and retire because they're getting old. And like I said, my mum can barely even walk with her arthritis. So yeah, I can't wait till that day actually happens where I can do that. And yeah, just it'll be the happiest moment of my life to settle my parents in and just let them look after their grandkids and just chill, you know?
It's bigger than football, that really.
Yeah, 100%.
And I was always the person that like wanted to put football first. Like I made some decisions that, again, I look back at and think, well, I definitely wasn't putting my family first. You know, I was thinking about football, and I don't know if I regret them, but it's like, well, I think your example and putting that out there, that's more inspirational, and you should aspire to be more like you than maybe the old school. And even, you know, I think back to the comments you made about Benji. He went on holiday, and I was like, oh, you can't be doing that. Like you've got a team to look after. Maybe head coach different when you're players, but it's pretty fascinating what you've done there, mate. Like to do that for your parents.
No, I just always thought
it's
like
incredible.
At the end of the day, footy's only a short career, man. Like I probably got maybe 5 to 10 more years in this arena of footy, and then when I leave, am I gonna have footy to go back to, or am I gonna have my family? And yeah, I'm gonna have my family there. You know, I'm not gonna have many footy boys in my life, and footy's probably not gonna be anything to me. It might be something to my kids, but yeah, to me, it's just gonna be something I did. You know, I love it.
Yeah.
And like, I'm so grateful for it. And like, I wish this is the job I wanted, you know? And yeah, like I said, like I don't take anything for granted, but at the end of the day, family's first, and I'm going to have them forever. I'm not going to have footy forever. So
I think that's an important point. Like you care about the game, but the family comes at the forefront, right?
Yeah.
You spoke a bit about the West East. You grew up in Mt Druitt. How did that shape you? What's it like for a young boy to grow up in that environment?
Yeah, for me, it's just I feel comfortable there. It feels like normal. But for other people on the outer, they see Mt Druitt as poor, you know, violent, all this stuff that you see in the media space. Like, yeah, you just look around and you just think like, that guy's wearing no shoes, that guy's got no clothes, that guy's got holes, that guy's eating out of the bin, and that's just normal. That's just the normal thing to see. Like I said before, my parents always told us since we were young, there's always like 3 ways out of Mt Druitt. It's either you sports, because a lot of kids from out west are very good at sports. The other way, you can go jail and make your money through that way, you know, not the good way. And then there's a 9 to 5. And most people in Mt Druitt don't want to work a 9 to 5. You know what I mean? So they choose the other route, sports or jail. So yeah, those are the things that me and my brothers and family always thought of since we were young, because my parents only thought one of us would make it. So they always tried to be like, make sure one of yous can make it. If you can't, just try to work a 9 to 5, because my parents were very strict. And yeah, but obviously being around all that stuff, you know, you start to meet people, your friends are doing this, your friends are doing that. And yeah, a lot of my friends nowadays are not my mates because they chose other routes like that I don't really want to go into. Yeah. But yeah, my family chose the sporting route, and my dad put 100% into it. Like there was no other thing. Like since I was 6 years old, my dad was trying to teach us how to pass a footy left to right, running up hills, you know.
Yeah.
Me and all my brothers, like, it was 100% footy, and I felt like that was forced upon us. But at the end of the day, look at what it got us to, you know. Like, he might have forced it on us, but we all played NRL at the highest level. So, yeah, it's kind of a... People used to see my dad as like, bro, that guy's too much. Like, he thinks he's a sergeant, drill sergeant. Like, why is he doing this to little kids, like 8-year-olds, you know? But then now people look back at it and be like, bro, your dad's the reason you've made NRL. Like, if you didn't have him, you wouldn't. And 100% I agree with that. My dad wasn't a part of our life. I think we would just be in the streets because my mum couldn't really handle us. Like, because we were already pretty bad as it is. So my dad would come discipline us. And yeah, that footy stuff did keep us off the streets. So just thankful for my dad. And yeah, it's a blessing.
I often think about like, I guess the nature of our sport and it being physical, confrontational, and like young boys, we naturally, when we get testosterone in us and we're anxious to get that level of almost combat about us. Like when where I grew up, rugby league didn't exist. It was all soccer. I found rugby league and I was like, I feel like at home here. Like I felt like I could be physical. Do you think that the sport helped channel that natural sort of aggression, or you know the environment that you were in? It really helped you growing up become the person that you are today? Because if rugby league's not there, the options slim, right? Because our game gets knocked at junior level, but I think it does so. I think it does so much for society, especially for areas like where you're from.
100%. I feel like when footy was on, me and my brothers would like still go out the backyard and play and like do that kind of fight. But when it was off, it was just mayhem, bro. Like fighting every day, punching on every day with each other, like
with your brothers.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because we didn't have footy to like go out there and do it to other kids, so we're doing it to each other. Even my sister was involved too. Like we'll take it out on her as well. So yeah, it was just like without footy, bro, I don't know where we would be, man. Like, and especially nowadays, like to enroll your your kids into that kind of stuff and keep them away from that other stuff, you know. Out west, it's a big culture in violence and like I said, all that stuff. Like, so enrolling your kids into that stuff, like it's the biggest probably blessing you could, like just to get them away from all the other stuff and like get them like that physical where you can't get in trouble. Like you can hit someone and not get in trouble. Like, and you don't have to go outside and fight. Like, I feel like that sort of stuff is a blessing in disguise for us because we didn't know. Like now I realize, like back when we had our off season when we were younger, that's when our testosterone was going through the roof, and you know we were getting more hidings than usual just because we were taking it out on each other and trying to do sneaky stuff behind my dad's back, and you know, and then he'll find out, and then it's game over.
Well, in my house growing up, I had 3 older brothers, 3 younger sisters, and it was just like Royal Rumble. Like, everyone was in. Like it was just it was carnage. But like I was probably the one that stuck out, and without that avenue for me to do it in a controlled environment, teaching me discipline around what's okay, what's not, and hey, I'll hold my hands up. I got that wrong from time to time as a kid and as a professional, but it taught me so much. But I want to ask you about the importance of that environment and you making it this far. You think if you grow up anywhere else, you're playing NRL?
To be honest, I don't reckon, I reckon I'll just do what everyone else does. Like, because both my parents grew up in the West, so they grew up with poor families as well, and they really had nothing towards their names. They just worked a 9 to 5, and you know, mum was a pretty bad child, so yeah, she was just like, they gave everything to us. They was like, as soon as they had us, they were like, bro, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do that. Like, we're making sure that you can make it to somewhere that we never got to and support this family. But yeah, I feel like if I was living in the East, I would have been well off already, or, you know, like just a beach kid or working a normal job or like PT. But I feel like I said, my parents always gave us that option since we were young. They instilled it into us. It's either you do this, or do this. And yeah, obviously we didn't know how good we were at footy until we got older and like my brothers started making rep teams, and I was just a kid that just played for my brothers. And then, yeah, when I got older, I started to realize like if I gave this a proper shot, I could make it like them. So, yeah, to have 3 brothers in the NRL, it's crazy, let alone 1. But yeah, I reckon, like I said, if it was anywhere else, I don't reckon none of yous would know any of us May boys. So, yeah.
Do you feel a bit more pressure coming from where you did to stand out and make it and be a positive role model?
Not really, to be honest, because I just see Mount Druitt as a normal place.
Yeah.
Like I said, like people might see it as this, that, and that, but I see it as a normal place. Like I still go and do a lot of stuff in the community that no one would know of, like besides the people that like know me. And I look at it just like that kid's exactly like how I was, you know, always just wanted to run around and have fun, and yeah, I would get in trouble, but it was worth it. Like, yeah, like these kids don't realize how much fun they're having. And then, yeah, I just look back at it like, bro, that was me as a young kid. Like, I don't feel pressure. Pressure to me is like seeing someone living in a car. You know what I mean? That's pressure. Seeing someone homeless eating out of a garbage bin, that's pressure, because that's them trying to fight every day to live every single day off scraps or off just living in their car. That's more of pressure. Like I said, like I might have came from the houses and that, but I still had a bed.
Yeah.
I still had food nearly every day. And then you got these people who have no family, get sent to foster care and all that stuff. And they're so grateful and blessed. They see it in their eyes like, yeah, I'm in foster care. Like, how can I say, you know, I'm not blessed to have a roof, you know, food. So, yeah, I don't see it as pressure. Even when I play footy, I don't see it as pressure. I get to go on TV and play, you know. There's people out there trying to struggle to live every day. Like, how can I say that's pressure?
Do you think, I guess, coming from where you come from, there's people out there that are looking for you to fail?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I even feel like within my culture, like the Samoan culture, it's a big, like, most of my haters are Samoan. So, yeah, I just feel like, yeah, like there's a lot of people out there that want
say, oh, I told you.
Yeah. Like they want to be like, oh, look, this guy, look, I told you, like this guy's a flop, this guy's a gronk. Like, yeah, there's a lot of people hating out there. But like I said, at the end of the day, their opinions don't matter to me. The only opinions that matter to me is my family and my friends. Like if my friends were pulling me up saying, you're a gronk, your family was saying, you're a gronk, then I'll pull my head in like, bro, I am a gronk. But if it's just a random bloke saying, you're a gronk, you're this, you're that, bro, what do you got to do in your life? Like, don't you have anything better to do? Like, I'm not harassing you. Why are you harassing me? But at the end of the day, I've been living this life since I was young. Obviously, with my older brother going through that stuff, and my younger brother. And then I came in when they've already done that stuff. So I came in already hated from my last name. My parents know, like, my last name's well hated. Like, I get pulled over from the police for nothing. I got no criminal record. I get strip search a lot.
Really?
Bro, yeah, I get like, I'll be jogging sometimes and the police will, like undercover will just pull me over, say, mate, what are you doing out here late at night? Like, and I'm like, and then I realize, last name. Yeah. So a lot of boys have seen it, like my mates and that, and they just like think like, bro, how do you do this? And I'm just like, bro, it's better than what other people are going through. Like you see little kids dying, getting bombed, like, so I can't complain about getting pulled over and strip search and all that. Like, it is what it is. Like, that's how they treat us. So, yeah, I don't care.
Wow. Because am I right in thinking you don't drink alcohol either?
Nah, I haven't drank for 4 years. And when I was drinking, I've maybe drank 5 times. Like I said, my dad was really strict, bro. Wasn't allowed to go out. Wasn't allowed to never touched a drug in my life. Wasn't allowed to go clubbing. Wasn't allowed to drink. Wasn't allowed to smoke. Nothing. I've never touched a smoke. I've never touched a vape. None of that. Like my dad was so strict on all of us. And obviously, you know, you like rebel against him. And that's what happened. Like my brothers and us, like we all rebelled. But at the end of the day, you come back to your principles, what you've been taught since you were young. And yeah, I've always thought like, what's the point in me drinking? Like when I was drinking, I was just wasting money, and just the next day I'd feel like, oh, what the hell, waste of time. And the other stuff I don't even want to try, because I see a lot of junkies in my area, and I just think, wow, what a waste of life. Like you're sitting out here, you know, smoking weed or putting needles in your body, and you're living off nothing. Like you're sleeping in cold weather and that. And I just think, bro, it's like the biggest turn off. But yeah, like I don't know their situation. Like I don't want to judge them, but yeah, I just think like drugs is a big part of where I'm from, and there's a lot of junkies out there that I think like, wonder what happened to you. Like why you're in this situation.
Everyone's got a story, right?
Yeah, like why you do this. And
we are quick to judge, quick to just go off.
Yeah, that's why I said I feel like even for me, like I'll judge them and just think of the worst, and then I'll think back like, why are you judging them? Like you come from the same thing. Like they're probably like worse than you. Like probably have no parents and just fell off, or maybe they touched it once and then game over. So yeah, or
it gives them a sense of they can just forget.
Yeah, 100 forget trauma and stuff. You know,
just zones them out.
Yeah,
like and which you shouldn't judge, and you should look to, I think, try and understand.
Yeah, 100.
A little bit, as opposed to they're making bad decisions. Like people don't know what a lot of people have been through, and they go, well, they couldn't even probably verbalize it, but that's what's going on deep down. Like, yeah. On a like the impact of you in the community, do you see yourself as a role model there? Like for young kids that maybe, I'm thinking about like impressionable teenagers at that age where it's like I could go one way, could go the other. You feel like, and you say you do some work in the community, and you spoke about when you're playing, but away from the field, lead with your actions, lead by example.
Yeah, like I said, like all that stuff I don't do for someone to come and take a photo and be like, oh, look what Terrell May's doing. Like he's helping. Like I've never asked anyone to come and do that stuff. Like I just go and do it because I love to do it. And when I was younger, I would always like, so Michael was a big influence on us because Tyrone played with Robert Jennings. So Michael would come down and say, like, and he was my favorite player back when I was young, and I'd think, wow, like this is amazing. There's an NRL player down here, like he's giving up his time. Like how does he even find time like to come down here and help out the community? Like, and then as I got older, I just started doing it, and I didn't realize like you said, I didn't realize that it impacted other people, because I just see it as like I'm going down there to have fun with the kids and just play around, and and then you get told like from other people like, oh my gosh, my son said it's the best day ever. And you just think back like, bro, like that's amazing what I can do just being present. Like I don't have to write anything. I don't have to do anything. Just be present and go there, and kids and parents love it. And hopefully it helps out their situation or whoever's there. And there's this actually, I go down to this disability team at Mitchellbury Jets, where my junior club is, and bro, like it's the best feeling ever going down there, because they train once a month every Wednesday. I go down there and they all know my name, me and my brother, like, because we both go down there and they all know our names, and they're just like, bro, these guys are running around with disabilities, and like you're out here saying, oh, like, yeah, I'm injured, I can't play, like, and these guys would give up anything just to play in their comp, you know what I mean? So I just always go back to, bro, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Like every situation, I'm blessed. You know, it just humbles me, and I love my community and I love my people. So I'll do anything for them.
I like that, mate. One of the other things you do in your spare time is your vlogging. Where can our listeners check that out, and what's I guess behind that passion?
You can check it out on my YouTube, Terrell Davis May. I've been like kind of in the YouTube community for like 7 years, 8 years, but through gaming. I've always like said I wanted to become a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer. And
what game do you play?
I play COD with Cheese. So I play with Cheese a lot. And I used to play pro back when I was 18. So I had pretty much a route to choose gaming or footy.
What do you mean pro?
Like I used to go to events. Like,
Really?
and sit there and play like properly, for money and all that stuff. But it's not a very big thing here in Australia. It's more in USA and that. But yeah, it's like I've always wanted to become a vlogger and all that and just like try it. And then I ended up trying it and I was like, I'll just give it a go, bro. And then it ended up popping off, So I was just like, what do you want to see? And people loved the training.
So you just put it out there to the people who subscribe, follow you, and what do you want to see? And you...
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I just do a day in the life, what I do from when I wake up to I sleep. And yeah, they like it because they see how I train, how I eat, how I like live my life and who I hang around. So it's pretty much all the same people in the videos. It's just me and my brothers and family and friends. Just train and just eat healthy and do all that stuff.
Well, you know, because, mate, I reckon sometimes you don't realise as a professional athlete how people are in awe of you and like understand, like they don't understand the process. And you showing them like, well, this is how I train, this is what I do. It fascinates people. Like obviously we get the 80 minutes on Fox, but people want to see like how do you get there, like what's going on behind the scenes. And because again, like you know, you speak about those kids or that are in that community, they want to know. They got that now in this world that we live in. People have that thirst for knowledge, but it's easily accessible. Where I can go on to someone like yourselves, your vlog, and go, well, I can see what he's doing, and you know what? Maybe I'll test myself. Maybe I'll have a go at doing that. That drill or whatever it may be.
Yeah, no, 100. I feel like everything's so easy nowadays with social media. You can click one video and, you know, you're on a podcast. You can click here, you're on a vlog. You can click here, you're cooking, you know. So everything's just easy for the community now. And yeah, I didn't realize how much like people actually enjoy watching me until I posted the vlogs and that. I always thought everyone hated me, you know, because that's the mindset I've always had. Like, these guys hate me. Like, but yeah, I'm getting mad love and appreciate everyone showing love. And yeah, it's a fun thing to do just as a side. Like, yeah, I'm not getting paid from it or anything. I just do it for fun. So yeah, it's cool. So.
You mentioned Cheese. Obviously, we have him on each and every week. He says that you're a big fan of the podcast. Is he lying or?
Nah,
he said you were watching us talk about you and your future. But
nah, my dad watches you. Like, I've listened to stuff, but like I said, I don't really like listening to footy stuff too much.
Yeah.
So my dad was listening to all the stuff, like, because obviously I've been in the paper and podcasts a lot lately. So my dad would be like, "Oh, look, Cheese and Jimmy are like giving you raps and that," and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, good on him." And then like Cheese would ask me about like what's going on and that, and then like I would kind of just to tell him like a little bit, and then he'll come on and explain to you. But yeah, he was pretty switched on with the stuff I was giving him, and low key like putting it out there. But like I said, I'm an honest person. I don't really care. Like I got nothing to hide, bro.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, it is what it is. If something comes out bad, good, I just won't look into it. Just roll with it. Just roll with it. Yeah, let my family, like my dad loves watching all that footy. He's a footy guru, bro. He loves watching all the stuff about footy and that. And then he won't tell us, but yeah, he told me about because he likes Cheese as well.
Yeah.
Cheese always comes, says hello to him after the game, and he loves all the Roosters boys because they all like remember his name and that. So yeah, as soon as he saw like Cheese and you talking about it, he's like, "Oh, look, son, look." Yeah, and I was just like, "Oh, yeah, okay." Let them talk about what they think, you know what I mean? Yeah, let them do their thing, and then I'll just sit here and just lay back and let it unfold.
Well, what's going to unfold is you're going to be at the Tigers. What are your aspirations there? Like, what are you? Obviously, we've spoke about you've set that family aspect up. You clearly care about your football. You're a top quality front rower. I think looking back at the Tigers recruitment, there's been some great they've worked their way. The loss of Stefano, it's like, oh, they need a middle. Obviously, Royce Hunt goes there. But now with you coming in, I think it shifted people's opinions on the Tigers. The battle in the middle is so important. Yeah. Like it's so important. And I think maybe that where a lot of teams come underdone. What do you think the Tigers can do next year into the future?
Well, my mindset going into every year I've played footy is if I don't win a ring, I failed. You know what I mean? So people might like look at it, laugh and be like, you're at the Tigers, you're never going to win a ring. But my mindset's not going to change no matter where I am, no matter what team I go to, no matter what I'm doing. It's always, if I don't have a ring, I failed that year. So, yeah, I'm going in there to win a ring. Like, I'm not going in there to, top 8 or, if we get top 12. Nah. For me, winning a ring's the most important thing for my career. And, I don't want to settle for nothing less than that. And, I feel like the recruitment's been good with the Tigers. And I feel like, I'm confident in the team. But like you said, the middles is a big part. And I'm going to play a massive part in the middles, winning that in the middle, because like every team knows, you can't win a game of footy without your middles going forward. Because at the end of the day, your halves ain't going to kick well if your middles are getting bashed or, you're getting ran through. So, the middles is probably the most important thing. And, I'm going there, like I said, to lead the pack and lead them to a premiership. It might laugh, but, that's my mindset.
And, you obviously the Tigers, they're probably the most spoken about club in the NRL. Like, when you shut off from that, or if you hear it, any negative comments, do you feel like a bit of a role with your attitude can rub off on some of those other players? Because I think a lot of people do get affected by that, by what's said in the media. But it appears as though you're just like, well, no, screw that. And if you can have that influence on other players as well when their heads do drop, you think that can be something that the Tigers can tap into from within you, as well as your playing ability?
Yeah, I feel like even Romy, he hates losing as well. I've known Romy since he was young, and his mindset's very the same. Like, winning's everything to us. And obviously I'm going to go in like that, but I'm not going to tell him like, oi, get your head up, do this. I'm going to lead by actions. I'm going to try come first in fitness. I'm going to try win all the wrestle, win everything, just to prove to them, like, I'm not just here trying to take the piss. Like, I'm not just here for a paycheck. Bro, I'm here to win a comp. And, I've always been that guy that barely talks, but I lead from my actions. And the same thing's gonna happen. I'm gonna go there and just lead by actions. And if they follow, they follow. If they don't, then, I'm gonna have to start talking to them and be like, bro, this is, what we need to do if we want to win a comp. Like, can't just sit here and put our heads down. Like, let's go, bro. Like, and I know that when I went and watched them train last week, I know they're all ripping in, and I can see the switch this year. I feel like they're all confident with the new signings that got brought to them. And, I feel like once me and Romy start, I feel like we can be a massive influence to not just the team, but the culture as well. I feel like,
Well, I think even the story that came out around 3 players being sanctioned for missing their targets shows it could potentially be a new dawn there.
Cheese told me about that, and I was just like, oh, breach notice for not coming in thing. That's good. Like, that's a good thing, Like, that just shows the culture's changing. And I just feel like it probably tested them. Like, they're probably young kids, I've been through that too, where I'm just like, I'll go in, I'll do this. But their teams are very young and probably don't realise how much that stuff probably means to the club and to Benji. But it's good that they got that sanction, and I reckon they'll learn from it, and they'll probably be better off with it. So it is what it is.
Talk about being the alpha. I've got to ask you this as a middle. The training sessions when you're at the Roosters, yourself, Jared, Collins, Lenu, is it going off in there, or like the level of intensity, the young ball, the old ball? Everyone's seen Spencer. Collins is everywhere. Do you have to get pulled apart, dodge each other? Like, what's it like with those when you were in the mix with those 3 at training?
It was like that apparently back in the day. Like, they used to just flog each other, but nowadays with all the concussion protocols and all that stuff, like, it's gone a bit softer. But you get some days where Jared's not too happy about the week or something, and then, bro, it's just all out. Everyone's just trying to take each other's heads off. And, yeah, it just gets crazy in there. There's nearly, like, I'd say, like, nearly punch-ons when that happens. Like, yeah, so probably Jared missing now. They want Spencer to step up into that role, which I know Spencer will, because he's the same fiery as well. Like, once he tips over, it's probably even worse than Jared. He just can't control himself. But, yeah, I know what them boys are like. And, yeah, even Lindsay, he doesn't want to take a back foot step. So, yeah, once those trainings started setting off, yeah, it was just like, wow, everyone was just trying to kill each other. So, yeah, it made me a better player and a better person. Because if you can do that to your teammates, you can go out there and do it to anyone. So, yeah, Jared was a massive part of my game. And it's sad to see him going from the NRL, but I know he'll kill it in Super League and give them a bit of motivation and just what he's like. And he'll make every player that he in the whole KR better. So
he might just get whole KR
to the victory. And hopefully he can, because Tyrone plays there. So I love that team.
They were close last year.
Yeah.
They were very close.
Yeah.
They did so well.
Yeah, they did well, bro. Yeah. Wigan's a very good team, but yeah, they got some solid players.
The game against the Roosters next year. And look, obviously you think, oh, I'm just going to approach it, whatever. And obviously it's still, there's so much water to go under the bridge. There's so many twists, turns in the season, injury, suspensions, whatever, origin maybe. How do you think you'll feel on game day and once the ball's kicked?
I said this to the guy that interviewed me 2 days ago. I said, it'll be exactly like every other game. Like, I'm going out there to win. Like, they got a different jersey onto me. I'm not going out there to be their friends. I'm going out there to win and do everything I can to win. And it'll be the same in whatever round it is when I play the Roosters. But I might have a bit more motivation because, yeah, obviously it's my old club and they let me go. And I see a lot of fans nowadays saying, yeah, good, we let him go and this and that. So, yeah, I'll keep that in the calendar. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Show them what they're missing out
on. I'll just prove to them. But I want to prove to the whole NRL, I'm here to play, bro. Like, I'm not, people might think, oh, this guy's head's not here. But, yeah, we'll just wait and see. Like I said, actions.
Yeah. Those actions could lead to a rep jersey for the Blues. Is that on the horizon for you? You feel if you play at your best, I heard you spoke about you've not scratched the surface yet. Where can you get to? And if you maximise your potential, you reckon you're playing for the Blues?
Yeah, 100%. I just reckon, like I said, I haven't scratched the surface with my potential. Like, that was my first full year of NRL.
Yeah.
Like, without getting dropped or without me. I've only played NRL for 3 years, and I heard right now, like, is your prime time like 25 to 30 for middle front row, especially me because I debuted at 23. So, yeah, I'm still in my prime, and like I said, my motivation this year is crazy. Like, all that stuff that happened off the field, like, yeah, I'm ready to take on the comp and just prove to everyone I deserve to be in a rep jersey. I deserve to be in that, top 5 props, or I want to be the best prop. I don't want to settle for anything less. So that's my mindset going into this year, especially. But yeah, I feel like if I play at my best, I'll definitely get a call up. I was close last year, so if I just pull my head down and just, like I said, just want to win, they'll come with the winning. So
do you think, when you say you've not scratched the surface, do you think you've got levels to go with, like fitness, skill? Like, what is it that you think that you've got extra gears to go with? Like,
everything in footy, my D, my attack, my fitness, everything, skill. Like, I only started in 3 games last year, and probably at most clubs, not saying I'm like the best, but like most clubs, probably I would have been a starter.
Yeah.
Because the Roosters pack was so good, like I only got to start during the Origin period. So yeah, and those were probably my best games. I played 80 minutes for one game against the Dogs, and then 75 minutes against the Cows. and then 65 or something. I forgot who it was against, and those were all probably my best games.
Did you enjoy that?
Yeah,
long minutes.
Yeah, I love like the long minutes, and I feel like as the game gets like longer and I start seeing fatigue in the other middles, it just turns me to another level. I'm just like, bro, you're tired. I've been on longer, like, and you're breathing heavy. Like that just makes me want to play even more. And it's weird. I always play better in the back end of my 20 than the first 20. It's such a weird thing, but it's like I just get in a groove. But this year I want to go out and just, bro, like Benji probably already came out and said it, like he wants me playing big minutes this year. So I want to come out and just every game blow out until I can't stop moving, bro. And I feel like I can play 80 minutes every game. I feel like my fitness is probably top tier to most front rows, you know? So, yeah, I just feel like this year I'm ready to take it on. But I don't want to talk about it. I just want to play, so to prove it,
We'll get on to the 4 questions that we do for each and every guest. Before we get into them, mate, I've really enjoyed this chat, mate. You really have.
Thank you.
The dream spine, 1679.
Yeah, so I'm going based off my era.
Yeah.
And like my personal preferences. So fullback, I'll probably have Teddy because I've played with him and I know how much he does off the ball, bro. Like people might see him do all these tries, line breaks and all that, but the stuff he does off the ball, it's like crazy. So Teddy would be my 1. 6 would be Mitch Pearce. Just love the way he played and just feel like he competed on everything. And then 7 would have to be Cles. Like I feel like he's gonna probably go down as the GOAT. And then the actual GOAT is my GOAT is Cameron Smith.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, nice. I
That'll
like
be
that.
nice.
Teddy, Pearce, Cleary, Smith. If footy didn't exist, and we've spoke a little bit about this, what do you actually think you'd be doing?
Probably now that I'm matured up, definitely it would be disability work or like the vlogging stuff or like that. But probably in my younger days, like being around this environment that I was in, trying to chase fast money and stuff, like I would probably take that route which I don't want to promote because I don't want anyone to think that's a good route. But I just feel like since I was young, I never wanted to really work a 9 to 5. I wanted like money and stuff. So
and understand that mentality where it's I want to be something different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I want to stand out.
Yeah,
Whether
yeah,
it's
yeah.
good or bad, I'll stand out.
Yeah, that was my roots. So but won't go too much into it. Yeah,
and I respect that, mate. A sliding doors moment that you think about?
Definitely have to be the COVID year. The year my younger brother made his debut. He was 19, I think, and I was back home. And just probably one of my proudest moments was seeing him debut. And then it was also one of my biggest motivational moments because I felt embarrassed that my younger brother debuted before me. I feel like I should have been the older brother to show him like the route of NRL, not him showing his older brother the route of NRL. And I just feel like I said, it was one of my proudest moments. Like, and I couldn't go because it was COVID, so I was so disappointed. And then, I remember after he debuted, I just said to myself, like, you're never gonna let your younger brother like look like you're looking up to your younger brother. I want you to make sure your younger brother is looking up to you. So, after that happened, I ended up doing the 75 hard, and then got real fit, and then that was my preseason with the Roosters, and then I did debut, and all that stuff happened from there. So it was my biggest sliding door.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mate, the 75 hard, for those listeners that don't know what that is, I have a bit of an understanding. So it's 75 days,
two workouts.
2 workouts a day.
Yeah.
Strict diet.
Yeah.
Obviously no alcohol.
No alcohol. And then a gallon of water and just a photo. I'm on it right now. I'm actually on 29 days right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
you finished camp. When did you start?
so I started the day I came back.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, the day I came back, I started. So I done a 2-day fast and then jumped straight on the
So
75.
your off season consists of 2 45-minute workouts.
Yeah, 2:45 minutes. Sometimes I do 3, but just because my brothers, bro, like my brothers love training, bro, and I'm not gonna sit at home and be like, oh yeah, you go. So I just go train with them. And now that I'm getting further into it, we just started running 10Ks like every second day.
Do you?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Your 10? What? How fast to? 10K?
So on Tuesday we done like the 1.2 laps with a recovery walk. So we're doing that in 440 a k. 440 a k.
So the
1.2 on the track, the laps.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
So we'll do that. So I don't know what the 1.2 actually was, but on the K, the 440. My brother was doing it in 420, my older brother.
And you do that?
We done that 5 times.
Yeah.
And then we had the recovery walks. But then on Sunday, I'm just doing 12K straight. So I'm trying to run a marathon in December.
Where at?
Just my mate. He does marathon running.
In this December or next?
Yeah, this December. So I'm trying to do a marathon. Yeah, so we'll just run around for 42 Ks because that's a marathon.
Yeah.
Because the next marathon's in Feb, so I can't do that in Newcastle. So I told him, let me get 60 days into 75 hard, like around there. And then around December, we'll go and just do a 42K run. And yeah, just to test myself, bro.
I did a marathon this year and it
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, mate, it was hard.
Which one?
The Sydney one.
Oh, true.
Mate, it was at like 32K. I fell in the hole.
Yeah, no, I don't even want to picture it. I just want to run and be with him because he's already done like 4 marathons, and I just want him to help me, like to pace me. Because if, like my mindset's like I would rather die than not complete it because I already set myself like I'm gonna do this. So I would rather just pass out and die than not complete it. So once I said we'll do it, like I'm not gonna do it. So yeah, I'll do it. I'll probably vlog it. It'll probably be crack up, like
mate. It's pretty fascinating to hear you're doing this in your off season.
Yes, like I said, I train pretty much exactly just not the long hours. Like all my stuff will be within an hour. All my running and all that. And I don't. It's very weird. I don't touch weights in off season, so I just do body weight. Yeah, like bars and push-ups.
Or just body weight exercise?
Yeah. So all body weight. And like even with my legs, I'll just do squats. And
can I ask why?
I just feel like weights like hurts my joints.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm already strong. Like I don't need to, like I'll just rather like body weight. Like body weight already makes you strong enough anyways. And it makes you like endure more. So like if you're doing bench, you can do more bench because you're doing push-ups with your own body weight. So
have you lost much weight doing it?
Yeah, so I started at 118 when I came back for day one, and I'm at 111.5 now. So
and what do you want to play at?
I usually play at 112, 114, but in the off season I'll get down to like 109, 110. Yeah, I'll always just stay around there. But I'm pretty like game fit. Like I can play long minutes, like no matter what my weight is.
It's just a number. Right?
Yeah. Like I said, like I've always said, weight doesn't affect me, bro. Like people just think, I'm weighing this. Like at the end of the day, it's your mind, bro. Like you would know yourself. Like it's all mind, bro. Like,
some players, mate, it's fascinating. There's some players they get on that scale for game day, and it's like,
yeah, I know. Like they freak out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? Like that's just your mind, bro. Yeah. Oh well.
Have you done any work on your mindset? Because just speaking to you, spending some time with you, it seems you're very strong-willed.
Not really. Like I said, my dad, bro, like since we were young, like made us, like we're running up hills crying, like when we were 6, like if we didn't do it, you're just getting the biggest hiding you've ever seen, like in front of anyone too. Like, so I've always had a strong mind. Like me and my brothers, we've always just been like, bro, like whatever this happens, like even when it came to training, like no matter how much we were training or running, if we didn't complete it, we're getting a hiding. Like, so it's always been like, bro, all this training to me nowadays, like I'll do it because I'm not going to get a hiding, you know? But I'll just do it, And I've always said to myself.
But even that mindset of just like, well, it's just a number. Like, because you'd have to weigh in pre-game, right? And then post-game for dehydration. That's all it is, right? Is to find out how much it's for dehydration. It's not for this. You're not a boxer making weight.
No.
It's just for pure hydration purposes.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't like go into the thing thinking, oh, damn, bro, I'm a kilo heavier. Like, why? Like, why would I care? But if I'm a kilo heavier, like, at the end of the day, I'm going to go out there and go, like, my mindset's always the same. If I die on the field, I die. Like, bro, I'll go until I can't stop, you know? Even when I'm that tired, like, I always think to myself, bro, someone could be like, you should just be grateful you're even on the field.
Can you tap into that when you're fatigued?
Yeah, I can tap.
Can you?
Like, I can be like, or like, when I'm playing, I'm always like, bro, this ain't hard. Like, I don't know, it's something weird. Like, I would be as tired as I can and we'll be like doing a dropout and then my mind would just be like, bro, this ain't hard. This is easy, bro. This is easy. Let's go. Like, I'll just be like talking to myself. And I'm like, what the hell's wrong with me? And then I'll just go and then I'm like, found a new gear and I'm like, oh, okay, all good. Yeah.
I like that. Last question. The most interesting person that you've met?
Probably my younger brother, eh? It's always different with him every day. It's like one day he could be this person or one day he could be the complete opposite. And ever since he was young, he was always like that. Like, one day he could be the happiest, the next day he could be, you know, wanting to kill you. So, yeah, he's just such an interesting person. And I think people know he's an interesting person too because they love him on social media. Like, they want to see everything about him, even with all the stuff that goes on with him. But, yeah, people don't really understand him. Unless you really know him, you won't understand him. And just think, yeah, I've always been fascinated by him. And, yeah, I've always just thought, like, I wonder what goes through this guy's head. Like, yeah, like, because every day is a new, it's like every hour he's a new person. Like, it's like, yeah, it's just strange. And we all laugh. And, yeah, me and my younger brother are, like, probably the closest person I ever had in my life is him. And we've always stuck by each other. And I've always felt like I've known him more than he knows himself. And he even says that. So, yeah, he's just probably the most interesting person I know.
Nice. Well, mate, it's been a fascinating conversation with you. It really has. Tapping into your mindset has blown me away. Your upbringing, how that shaped you, the positive influence that you are, and the value of family is a great lesson for anyone, no matter their cultural background. You're right in what you said. Thanks for joining us here on the Bar, mate. It's been great to chat.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.